Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will discuss the Islamic perspective on celebrating the New Year, both the Gregorian and the Hijri New Year. We'll explore whether celebrating these is permissible in Islam, the value of each, and share an inspiring story to reflect upon. First Gregorian New Year, 1st January. What is it? The Gregorian New Year, starting on January 1st, is based on the solar calendar. It is celebrated globally with parties, fireworks, and various traditions. Islamic perspective. 1. No basis in Islam. The Gregorian New Year has no foundation in Islamic teachings. Celebrating it is not part of Islamic traditions. Reference: and if you obey most of those upon the earth, they will mislead you from the way of Allah. Surah Al-An'am 6:116. Whoever imitates a people is one of them. Abu DAWOOD 4031. 2. Imitation of non-Muslims. Celebrating the Gregorian New Year is viewed as imitating non-Muslims, TAWBAH, which is discouraged in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad emphasized distinguishing Islamic identity. You will follow the ways of those who came before you, step by step. BUKHARI 3456. 3rd, haram, practices. Many New Year celebrations involve acts like drinking, music, and free mixing, all of which are prohibited. Reference: and do not follow the footsteps of Shaitan, indeed he is to you a clear enemy. Surah Al-BAQARAH 2:168. Short story. Once a man asked a scholar about celebrating non-Islamic festivals. The scholar replied, "Would you give importance to a day that your prophet never celebrated and compromise your faith to resemble others?" The man reflected and decided to uphold his Islamic identity by not participating in such celebrations. Second Hijri New Year, 1st MUHARRAM. What is it? The Hijri New Year marks the start of the Islamic lunar calendar and begins with Muharram, one of the 4 sacred months. Significance in Islam. 1. Not a festival, the Hijri New Year is not a day of celebration. Neither the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, nor the companions marked it as a festive occasion. Reference: indeed, the number of months with Allah is 12 lunar months. Among them, 4 are sacred. Surah TAWBAH 936. 2. Importance of Muharram. Muharram is a sacred month, and fasting on the 10th day, Ashura, is highly recommended. Reference: fasting on the day of Ashura expiates the sins of the previous year. Sahih Muslim 1162. 3. Reflection and worship. The Islamic New Year is an opportunity to reflect on our deeds and strive for self-improvement. Short story. The Hijri calendar was established by Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab, ATRA, during his reign. When deciding on a starting point for the calendar, the companions chose the migration, Hijrah, of the Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Medina, symbolizing a new beginning and sacrifice for the sake of Allah. Key takeaways. 1. Gregorian. New Year, not rooted in Islam, prohibited if it involves haram activities or resembles non-Islamic customs. This world is the prison of the believer and the paradise of the disbeliever. Sahih Muslim 2956. 2. Hijri, New Year, not a celebration but an opportunity for spiritual reflection and good deeds. Engage in acts of worship like fasting on Ashura and making dua. Conclusion. As Muslims, we must distinguish ourselves by following the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah. Let us use every day to draw closer to Allah and avoid practices that contradict our faith. Dua. May Allah guide us, forgive our shortcomings, and keep us steadfast on the straight path. Jazakum Allahu khairan for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.